If I remember correctly, which I don't know if I do, it felt like when I was younger, you don't really know what life is about. And I didn't know, I don't know how to live it. So I kind of just emulated people and I took people's advice. I copied people. Um, like one example is I copied the opinions and beliefs of my sister who was older because I felt l- less accepted or respected if I didn't have a strong stance on something. So in little ways like that, I guess I accumulated all of these positions, ways of believing and thinking about certain things. So it feels like largely a lot of that has been undone. Like I see that I just kind of I accumulated all of these thoughts and beliefs as if other people knew that that was true and real and solid, even though here a lot of the times it was wishy-washy. Like I guess I believe it. I'll say that I believe this, but ultimately it doesn't seem to matter that much. But anyways, it was nice that it cleared out, meaning I saw that that's kind of what everybody is doing, just copying and sort of pretending and faking that they are confident and know that this is true. Yeah. I guess it takes mm, I guess it takes some honesty to recognize within yourself or just internally, like how nothing is permanent in that way, that you can't stick to anything, that every circumstance is quite different and there's no right way to go about something or to feel. Like it kind of just depends and it differs a lot. And there's also a lot of, like, without having to think about it, there's also a lot of differences circumstantially that make it pretty obvious that you can't copy and paste things. Like you can't apply what another is saying into right now. So I think energetically, what that does is constantly bring you back to, I guess, what's here. Because what's here doesn't lie, it's not untrue. It just is what it is. It's not that it's true, it's just, it is what it is. That is what's here. And you can't really overlay the mind on top of that as if that's real. It's almost like a learned behavior, I guess, to constantly do that. Um, that's not a problem, by the way. That still happens in a subtle way. Uh, it just feels like a subtle mechanism of the body now. It doesn't feel like a believable story that will cause a lot of pain. Yeah, so it's kind of nice that you can't believe anybody's words. Yeah, you can't follow anybody and you can't mimic anybody. But yeah, that seems to be like one aspect of how the body gets freed up of all of these limitations or constrictions. Like it feels like um the body just wants more and more freedom and it can sense when something doesn't feel free. Something feels kind of tight. I think I say this stuff because I think my body is grieving something again. Maybe not again, but it's grieving. And, I find myself trying to listen to what other people have to say about certain things, but nothing applies. Like nothing makes sense. And it also doesn't matter. It more feels like the body is going through what it's going through, whatever it is. It's not good or bad. And it'll take as long as it takes. Like it feels like a natural course of something that in the bigger picture, you can't really intervene. Like nothing can do much to like stop it or anything like that. So in a way, that's kind of nice too. Like knowing that no, there's nothing that you're not seeing or that you can do to alleviate this and make it go away faster. It's and then the ideas of how the body should feel could be presented. And it's like life was never going to be stagnant. How the human body feels was never going to be stagnant. Yes, the highs and lows have dramatically diminished, but I think even then, it just will go through whatever it goes through. And when I think when I say the highs and lows, it's like it doesn't feel like there's a personal something. Like the personal narratives aren't really there. Um, it's very different from what would appear before. Because before I would, there are, I think, particular narratives for every body. So, a huge thing for this body was, I guess, constantly living for others. And it created a sense of burden. Like, I almost feel like I didn't know what I wanted. And there was an assumption of what the other wanted. And there was a living to make that happen for the other. Like I say that really definitively, but that's not how I mean it. I think energetically there was just a constant looking outward, like a outpouring of how are you doing? How are you feeling? How can I make it better? What's I don't even know if anything I'm saying makes any sense. But anyways, that kind of stuff doesn't happen anymore. Like life isn't entangled with if I just simply put it like external ways of living because this body's not getting anything out of it, so there's no energy that's like reaching outward anymore. Like it's kind of just it is what it is here, I guess. um so the thoughts are a lot more basic. It has nothing to do with a personal something that's making it feel um a little down right now, I guess. But yeah, when I say that, it's not a bad thing. It's not that it needs to change. It's not like it's a problem. It's just a word that we use, I guess. But you realize here too that you still don't know what you want. And you realize that that was never a problem. Like that's just how it is. And it is kind of crazy that so much out there. It's like, what do you want? You have to know what you want. But it's just so obvious to me. Like a lot of that is arbitrary. A lot of that is you've accumulated that from other people. It's crazy that most people are living in assumptions, but truly believing it. Like it boggles my mind, kind of. So here I'm kind of in a place where I'm not really living for anything, or there isn't an energy that is living for anything. It just is. Um, but yeah, the body's still going through something. So I find myself where there's like a thought that arises sometimes of like, what do you want? And I think it's just to comfort the body. It's not like I even expect an answer or need or want an answer. Yeah, and it's nice when it can come from an empty place that where it doesn't mean anything, you know? Like if someone else would say that to me, what do you want? I think I would feel some pressure to give an answer, to have an answer. But it's nice when it just comes from nothing. Yeah, I hope everyone knows like, I don't know what I'm talking about and it's not important and I'm not an authority on anything because no one is. I just describe how it's seen here or what's going on. And I would like you to be able to do the same. You don't have to mimic anyone, you don't have to be anywhere in particular. You don't have to pretend, you don't have to fake it. If that arises, it's okay. But at this point, it's so empty that I don't know if that is better than anything else. I think only when I think about it in memory of how miserable I was, even when I felt okay. I think only then I can see like there's a real beauty to allowing yourself to constantly be met exactly where you are, not having to be any different, not having to get anywhere, not having to resolve something or change anything. It seems to do something to the body. It seems to give things like full breath rather than just partial expression and then just trying to appear as if I have overcome it and gotten somewhere artificially, just on the surface, just to make others feel more comfortable or to not expose how much I don't know anything, how much I don't have an answer for anything. I don't know what I just said. I try to prepare like what I'm going to say and it can't be held that way. So I just say stuff. But anyways, if anyone would like to interact and express what's going on there or just sit with me, everything's welcome.